All right, good morning. Again, CAD 255. Hopefully you guys are starting to figure out SolidWorks a little bit and not getting too frustrated. Um, but if you are feeling a little frustration, just be patient. Keep with it. Ask me questions. It's pretty normal to have a little frustration at the beginning. Um, it's a heavy duty engineering program, so just be patient. We'll get through it. It's pretty cool once you figure it out. The learning curve will start to plateau and stuff will just start getting easier. As you kind of repeat a lot of the things that you do every time you draw. So um, I'm also going to include a video for you guys today. This one right here on the screen. It's pretty cool. Some folks that are building a wheelchair using SolidWorks, but I'll include that link in um, in the email, so you guys can click on that and see what folks are doing with SolidWorks. Today we're gonna go into Solid Professor, and I need to find the thing. Here it is. Okay, we're gonna look at this guy right here. So if you click printer friendly, actually, before I do that, let's talk about the assignments in Solid Professor. So the assignments that I listed, so I've got assignment 2 in there for you now. Assignment 2 should take the Wednesday class period and probably most of the Thursday class period. So when you see assignment 2, don't panic thinking you've got to get everything done today. So it's meant to be spread out. I will post something else for you guys in the morning tomorrow. Maybe like a little tutorial video or something. If people have questions or they want me to clarify anything, send me an email and I can make a little video about it and put that up too tomorrow. But at the end of the assignment, you've got a bunch of practice parts to make, which end up being pretty fun. I typically like doing the drawing more than just watching tutorials. It is kind of tutorial heavy in the beginning, I understand, but as you get more and more experience, it becomes more and more drawing, which is great. All right, so let's talk about the dual lever sketch, which you guys are going to begin today. And having taught this a bunch of times, I know students end up with some issues with this one if they don't do things in the kind of a correct order. When you make a drawing and you get dimensions like this, it's really important to include the dimensions that they give you. So you want to include this 200 millimeters, the 15 millimeters, all of these. You also want to think about the relationships. So if you see these little green boxes, we've got tangent relationships and parallel relationship here. Sometimes the relationships will help you get the sketch fully defined in a way that adding a dimension won't. Like you might get an over-defined or over-defined warning where all your lines turn yellow. You might get around that by, instead of adding a dimension, you would add a relationship. So we might add a relationship, a horizontal one between the center point of this circle and the center point of this circle, right there. I'm just going to model this part of this really quick, just so you can kind of see kind of how I do this one. All right, so I'm going to go File, New, click Part. Okay, when you first set up your drawing, you're going to want to notice that the units that you're going to be working in. So you've got metric units. And down here on the screen, right here in the lower right, this is IPS. So if I expand that, we're right now, this documents in inches, pounds, and seconds. The drawing we're going to work in on the dual lever sketch is millimeters. You will probably work in millimeters quite a bit. So if you're going to take the CSWA, most of the CSWA parts are millimeters. We'll just go ahead and switch that, and now it says MMGS, which is what we're looking for. One of the other things I like to do, whether I'm working in, if I have a split, I have two screens right now, but if I didn't have two screens, what I would do is split my screen like this. Bring this over here, and I might be working with both of these kind of on the screen at the same time. And you can do this with the videos as well. So you can be working here while like pausing and playing back your video, or looking at the part drawing. Another good way to do this, the printer, clicking the printer friendly lets you print out the drawing. That's super helpful. If you have two screens, you know, that's pretty great. You can have the video or the drawing open on your other screen, and then just be looking back and forth and not having to change windows. So that's just a little tip. Okay, I'm just going to expand this again because I'm looking at the, actually, you know, I'm going to bring it back onto the screen so you guys can see it. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh no, okay, hold on. Whew. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my sketch. So I'm gonna start on the top plane. It doesn't really matter which plane you select. I usually, by default, go to the top plane. The first place I like to start with a drawing is usually around the origin. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw these two circles. And I don't even really care how big they are. I just generally drag those out to a relative size. Still got my circle tool. I'm gonna go ahead and add this other circle down here. And I'm gonna add another one around this one. Okay, so relationships can be pretty handy. And I'm gonna add one right now. So I'm gonna select the center point of this circle, press Control and hold it down, select the center point of this circle, and then I'm gonna add, I don't know why my relationships are not showing up here. Okay, had to figure something out there real quick. Okay, so we've got these two center points. Unclick both of those, and then over here we're going to click horizontal, and you'll notice that those two center points now are horizontal with each other. Okay, so I'm just going to add a few dimensions. I'm going to add this dimension and the inner circle. Oops, hit the wrong button. Okay, dimension. This one's 50. Okay, so what you want to pay attention to is if they give you a radius or diameter. So radius is obviously half a diameter. So if you're drawing this as a circle, you want to draw it as a diameter, most likely. So that's actually a diameter of 100. So we've got 45 on the inner. And then this one's going to be 35 and 15. And this one's 200 from here. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'll show you how to do, and this is pretty helpful and can be a little bit confusing sometimes. We're going to draw in this line section right here. So as you can see, this line comes off of this circle in a smooth transition. That's called tangent. So when a line smoothly transitions into the curve, that's tangent. This is not tangent right there. That line just comes straight in and runs into the circle. So we want it to be tangent on this side, and we don't want it to be tangent up here. And sometimes SOLIDWORKS will snap to tangency, and you don't want that. So we're going to put that right there. And then when you click this, you'll notice you get a little box that shows you that it's tangent. So right there is your tangent relationship for that line and that circle. Okay, I'm going to put in another one. Actually, I'll just put in another line here. Okay, then when you get to this point, you can use the trim tool. I'll show you the trim tool, and this will get you on your way for your drawing today. So by default, it comes up as power trim. Power trim, you can just click and hold your left mouse button, and you can kind of see that faint gray line that I'm drawing. Whatever line that gray line crosses, it's going to cut. So power trim can be pretty handy. There we go. All right, so then you're just going to do the same kind of operation, circle, circle, line, line, and then do a little trimming. And you want to make sure you've got your tangent properties set up and all that good stuff. And ultimately, you want to have a fully defined sketch so that it's all black. There's no blue lines. You can't drag anything anywhere else. Okay, so you're going to finish. You're just going to do the sketch for this dual lever sketch, and then you can continue down and kind of just self-pace yourself through that next feature and part design portion of the assignments. So I'll be around today. Let me know if you need any help. And yeah, have fun with SOLIDWORKS today.